Okay. And I discovered some things on the laptop as I was doing some debugging or testing it on the potato. And we learned some things. Nathir, what's up? So if we run the game right now and we look at the debugger and the video RAM, look at that. Look at how big that is for this little teensy game. So we've discovered that we have this giant, huge texture. I don't know why it's so large in size. Let me try opening it up in um now this is weird, right? Usage for some reason is 4 megabytes. I'm showing it here. It's not being that large. Let me open this in Krita. See if I can save it with compression again, see what happens. I need to have a command line that just goes through and does maximum compression on PNGs. Okay, it did get smaller. Boo, boo, boo. Nathir, Nathir, Nathir. How you doing? Lossless. I don't understand why it's so big. Now it's even bigger. What the hell? We're gonna do lossless. That did jack. Size limit 512. Let's try cutting it in half. There we go. We lost more than half the size. So, like, why would these ones... These are 1024. And they're not nearly... Is it really? Let's see what settings these have. They have mip-maps generated. VRAM compressed. HDR compression. Why does it have so many... cracks? Go back. It's lossless again. Generating mip maps. Wild. So generating mip maps, even though it claims that it's going to make it bigger, is for some reason lowering the texture memory. Why is that? Where is it even now? Here. Crazy. It's almost like it didn't... Growling, how's it going? This one's even smaller. Doing good, Wixer? Just waiting for a shiny new AC system on Thursday. Stay cool until then. Oh, there's all the extras it made. All the mip maps. I see. Okay. It would be nice if the mip maps would show what it's tied to. Yeah, just looking at some compression stuff. I'm really curious about noise textures because they end up being so big. And I'm wondering if there's like for some reason my water texture is producing two noise textures, even though it's just the one thing. I'm not sure why that's happening. There's the noise texture right here. And I'm wondering, can we just bake the noise? I guess it's generated. You can scroll it, right? That's the whole point. So we can't just bake it. But like I could change the parameter to be a texture that and make it a texture that's maybe it's the bitmaps. And that reduced it a tiny bit. But I still see two noise textures. Why? Oh. These little bastards. Let's get rid of that. That helped a little bit. Look at that. Okay. So I could just cook these a little bit less if I wanted. RGB 8. Is there anything I can do to lower fidelity? Just size, right? Wixer, how you doing? What was it? You were working on a game, right? I'm trying to remember. Web GPU. Gotcha. Ah, here it is. Foundational level, laying down a solid framework. That's really cool. Okay, well, I understand that a little bit better. We're gonna keep that very early. Totally understand. Okay. So yeah, we ran this on my potato and the performance was all right. It could have been better, but it was all right. You can see the bounding areas of our rooms just from the collision spaces. So that's useful. um, you know what? Let's do the things I didn't want to do. Let's do the culling algorithm. So on the initializer, print debug, load me, daddy. Let's make sure this is firing at some point. Clear everything out. Okay, so it fires then. Let me see here. It is a tool. She's going to crash. Which project thus far have you gotten the most energy working on? Probably the tactics, frankly. Only thing that really takes the wind out of the sails in the tactics is anytime it's like, I want to make it look like this, I want to make it look like that. You know? Then it's just. Yeah, but it has to look like something, and I can't do that. There's the load me daddy. Okay, so we can hit load me daddy here. So on the initializer, what I want to do is for each room, in rooms. I'll come back to it, Sorrow, for sure. So for the room cell, so for each resource room, so if the grid size is empty, if grid size equals 0, we're going to delete it. Print debug, delete me, daddy. %S. I know, Sorrow. I know. I believe you, dude. I'm with you, man. I got you, dude. I know what you mean. I know you're looking out for me. I'm going to crash again. Failed loading scene items. What's going on? What is all this crap? I'm gonna crash again. It's like I close and reopen it. She's crashing like crazy. Oh, this isn't ready yet. Bros, you know what I need? I need a button to cleanse. That's what I need. Okay. Then we shall have it. And it's before. So how do you make buttons? Export tool button. And we'll call it clear empty rooms. Clear empty rooms. Clear empty rooms. Dazzling and Ren languages. Expand. Oh, we can't iterate. So we need to build a list of what we're going to delete. Okay, so we have the room cell. We don't have to iterate. There's nothing to iterate on. That's right. There we go. So what happens if we delete these as we're iterating on them? Does our for loop start to fall apart? I don't think it does because we're doing it on a dictionary, not an array. Oh, I see. Das Lang. Das as in the language. That's cool. Yeah, behind the scenes in Godot, they're working on a JIT. I think there's been work done towards a JIT for just in time for GD script. Hmm. Now these guys supposedly have set cells. Look at all these negative ones. Okay. So if we set the cell to -1, we clear it. And if we're doing that, we should delete it. So where are we setting invalid cell items? So we're doing that on set cell. So really, all right, I'm going to be right back. I got to use the restroom. All right. Let's see here. All right, back again. Thanks, sweetie. Okay, guys. Camera is almost to go. I had to use the HDMI cable for something else today. Now I'm plugging everything back in. Inserting HDMI cable. HDMI cable inserted. Warm liquid poo. Warm liquid goo. Warm liquid goo phase complete. Whoa! What's happening? Let's try again. There we go. That's more like it. He's back and he's pink. Why is he so pink? It's salmon, okay? We call it salmon. Destroy block. Mm-hmm. We're going to ignore that. So it's in the editor controller that we need to do this in. Okay. Do you want to destroy my block? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, do, do. I'll soon be naked. Lying on the floor. Lying on the floor. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba. So we actually want to delete the item from... So how do you delete from a dictionary in Godot? I've been doing this for years and I have to look it up every time. Every time. Works most of the time. Every time. Erase key. So grid erase the key. Bloop. And then on the actual grid map, we set it to 0. All right. Do you want to destroy my sweater? Whoa, whoa, whoa. So we have delete me daddy, which isn't being called at all. All right. Let's clear it out. Delete me daddy. No delete me daddies. Okay. But we have a bunch of, see, these all have -1s. So we've got to, if the cell, if the wizard is a wizard who can slizzard like a wizard, if equals grid map dot invalid cell item, then we are going to erase the cell. So we go boop and we say boop, erase cell. Okay. And then once we've done all that, we then erase. We then say room cell, resource saver, save this rooms Room cell. Resource. Path. Okay. Uh, Oh, it's gone. Okay. So, hmm. Chicken. Chicken. Thanks, Wixer. Da, 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 da. I'll be right back. All right. I've been working on the Metroid. All live long. Erase room. Room cell, grid, erase, cell. Cell, rooms, grid. Erase. So when we're done, rooms, cells, %s. Grid, size. Once it's done, we shouldn't have any more room cells. Room cells. Huh? Three. 31 rows. Oh, the delete me daddies are getting hit. Okay. It's weird. It like only is doing one at a time. Okay, so if the delete me daddies are firing, then we have to save the resource map, and particularly we actually have to get rid of the file. How do we do that, bros? Resource. I mean, we can't just like self-destruct it, right? Set path. I mean, we can get our path. So there's a file. File in IO. File paths. Background loading, saving games. Isn't there file dialogue? There's file dialogue. File. Dude, Mud. How you doing, man? Editor file dialogue. File dialogue. Isn't there like a file writer? File access, that's what it is. Can I just straight up say delete? Is it called something else? Erase? Why is this something Godot delete file? Don't tell me I have to use a local. Remove absolute. Dir access. I have to use dir access to delete a file. Of course. It makes perfect sense.
Huh?
Oh my gosh, look at this. Cake and ice cream. Is it black? It's black. My ice cream is slightly transparent. I
Huh?
promise you it looks delicious.
That cake's good, huh?
Huh?
Doing pretty good. I'm off work today, so I'm doing some home improvements. Nice. What kind of improvements? What we got? Doing some drywall? Some new laminate? Are we putting in some molding? We're doing some plumbing, electrical, tiling. What are we talking about here? Talk to me. Tinting some windows. Oh yeah. Yep. And now about to replace a fan. Do you have the mirrored tint? Are you doing the mirrored tint? Now about to replace a fan controller. Ceiling fan died. Not having a fan in the summer in Florida is not going to work. Understood. I don't understand why you. Nathir's having one of his classic Nathir strokes. Actually, he's just doing the frosted window thing. Just using the film. Gotcha. Maybe we should have done that. Hmm. So we're deleting the room cell, and then the resource itself we're going to delete. Only if we have no error. All right, let's check. We should have some deleted files. Look at that. Modified, deleted. Another deleted. Okay, so it's working. Kind of actually have to hit it a bunch of times. Clear empty rooms. Now we're only down to the 2. We did it! All right, so now we have a tool for clearing empty rooms. And if we go into our data, we have deleted a bunch of files. Okay. Now, can we bake? We can. Oh no, our whole room disappeared though. Why is that? Yep, this is it. Invalid call. Non-existent function get from base. Get used cells on game 128. Bake it again. There we go. Okay, so now we only have the 2 rooms. If there's ever... So now I should be able to build a room and erase it. Frosting the windows for privacy rather than temperature. Understood. Yeah, awnings are the way to go, man. Awnings sort of like... Yeah, there's that technology connections guy has a great video on that. All right. Delicious cake. I'll be right back. I got to put the plate away. Okay. All right, so only the actual rooms that we need are there. Okay. Yeah, Mud, if you're still here, I've got in-game level editing, and then I have biomes, and they play different music. So like when you change a biome, the lighting changes, and the music will change to the biome, and we'll have ambient sounds and stuff like that. What I was working on before I since I was doing, since we're doing a little bit of a jam or a little bit of a half day today, so to speak, I decided to work on some things that I normally would just not want to work on. So we did that, and I got it so we can clear out empty rooms. And in the future, I can get it a little bit better where we delete them right when we know they're empty. Okay. Have you considered working faster? I'm trying, JD. Just went out to the yard and moved the sprinklers around. Thus my absence. Okay, so we're working on enemies. And what we're trying to do is set it up so that when we place different colored of these blocks, these colored blocks, they will spawn an enemy at that location. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Need to be able to rotate them and stuff too. So we want specific kinds of blocks or textures on the blocks.
What the dog doing?
Okay, we should hit this breakpoint. JD, I love JD starting to sound like one of those fucking grind bros right now. You're just not grinding hard enough. You just don't want it enough. Okay, so we have add monsters firing. Okay, so we're almost there. Almost there. Rise Cricket Orange. Why is your mom orange? Many colors. Can you paint with all the colors of Doddle's mom? Can you poop with all the poopies of the poop? How's the dogs doing? All right. Um the pug is a bird killer. So that's a thing. Johnson, how's it going? Is it half cat? I don't know, man. He's been training for years for these moments, though. He's been chasing cars as they drive along our fence line. And so he's really fast. He's already low to the ground, and he's super quiet when he runs. And so I think that combination makes him a fantastic bird killing machine. Do a shout out to Johnson. Gonna let me. Any day now. Just hates my guts. Oh, it's because it's not. It's just Johnson. That's right. I'm such an idiot. There we go. How many birds? In the past week and a half, he's killed 2. They're very particular. They're kind of a pest bird, though. He's actually getting rid of the ones that, like, you want to get rid of, which is interesting. They're these migratory birds that only show up during a certain season, and they get everywhere. They like nest underneath your house and stuff if you're not careful. Fine, I guess. How's Gigantic Metroidvania Project? It's definitely a gigantic Metroidvania project. We can show you some things going on here. We've got, I have biomes now, so there's a room. The room editor is a little more involved. When you enter it, you'll have, you can come in and change the biome and the name of the room. And then, lots of little, like, don't hit this button because it causes things to break kind of stuff, but that's fine. So the biomes, the way it works is, so this is like an underground biome. And so the skybox is one color. And we use that for our ambient lighting. And it's also playing specific ambient background sounds and music. And then when we go to this biome, which is supposed to be like a lava area, we go here, and then it tweens over into the skybox for that, and then the music fades out from the previous biome, and the new biome music starts playing. So that's cool. And then, of course, at any point in time, we can go into an editor and start editing the world. And I just did some improvements on the saving of that, because we had a lot of empty rooms. So that's better now. So we won't save any empty rooms anymore if it doesn't have anything in it. And we can double check and clear any empty rooms if they exist as well. And I'd like to be able to stamp, copy and paste component like blocks, and then also stamp them and rotate them and stuff if I need to. But we're not worried about that right now. What I'm currently working on is we're going to have special colored blocks that are going to be where the enemies are spawning into. And so I'm working on getting that going right now. So we have the logic to find those blocks, and now we just need to remove the block and spawn the enemy that's supposed to be there. So that's what I'm working on right now. So we're technically working on enemies, long and short of it. And I've got this little guy. So we have this scene for this enemy, and he's got like his little vision cone here. And this is this circle, although likely not to be used in the actual game, because we just need the size the way we want it. This circle will represent its area that it can traverse to. So if it sees you, it can jump to any of these, anything around this circular area. And so when it's looking to get to you, we've got to write an algorithm that checks. It's a little bit of a pathfinding thing. We're not going to use Godot pathfinding because we want a very specific behavior that using the sort of like baked 3D pathfinding stuff is not going to give us. But the idea with the enemy is it's going to kind of look around its surrounding block situation, find one that's closest to something that it's spotted, and then bounce to that block and try to get to you, basically. And if it hits you, it hurts you. That's the idea. Evil geese also exist. The Egyptian geese are serious. They will kill all your other waterfowl. Oh, wow. I won't be there. I won't be on the stream much longer, but we're going to just do what we can. So we have the room, the world cell, and the room cell. We know the room already. We're setting the position in the world space. Relative position, baby. That should be it. Okay. Okay. All right. If we can get this workflow of adding enemies, so we have until the actual halfway point where we lock everything in and we start making the game is what? We're on day 21, so that's Monday. That leaves Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's 18, day 18. So day 17 is Friday, 16. So basically Sunday of this coming week, I have to have all of the components to make the game sort of locked in. And then the rest of the stream is me making game. So we've got 3 enemy types. We need, I would say, at least 3 abilities and 3 biomes. And I'd say that's probably enough to get us kind of where we want to be. And then we really do need to be able to like clone blocks and stuff like that, and maybe stamp rooms and things of that nature. So we're getting there. There he goes. All right, he's offset because his center point, he's bound to center. We also need to be able to rotate his position. We need to delete the block. So half of a plus minus. Do we do minus? No, because the z coordinate is, so we want to do plus vector 3 0.5 comma 0 0.5. Oh, you know what else? I know what else. Because enemy, oh shit. Enemies is empty. Do not save. Do not save. Did we save? Oh, it's going to crash. Too bad. Too bad. I feel awful working on this. Like, it's a great break for me from the tree game. I'll be totally honest. That tree game, as much as I think the idea is great, the process of making it is joyless, as I've said. It brings me no joy. Does this bring you joy? No. Then get rid of it. I do want to keep working on it. Someone's going to do it. And it should be me, right? It should. And it should be me. It should be me. And he did poop his pants. He pooped them right there, in front of everyone, at the town square. And they all laughed and giggled, and pooped a little too. Whoops. Pooped a little themselves as well. And that's how it happened. Down in Poosville. You got this? I don't know that this is a game that anyone's going to want to play. This thing, right? The tree thing, for sure. A Minecraftian looking Metroidvania. We got to do something to make it look more juicy. I rewrote a monitoring tool for that dead game I play, and I did some contracting firmware for industrial robots. I worked on my stupid Mort's idea. So I did stuff anyways. Well, see, that's where I feel like I'm letting you down, because you wanted to do sound stuff. Although, this certainly could use it. So Morts is a genre. Massively multiplayer online real-time strategy game. Ooh. I had an idea, and I'm sure it already exists, of a submarine, a real-time, massively multiplayer submarine world. Essentially the end of the world, and the nukes have been launched, kind of thing. And all that's left in the world are the submarines. And it's literally submarine combat, and you can communicate with friendlies and stuff like that, but your picture of the world is only what you can see. And so you have like the like, the boom and like that kind of thing, and you can only like Subnautica Armageddon edition. But it was just like, really claustrophobic and tense. Kay would love that. She loves good post-apocalyptic genre. Yeah, and then when you're in combat, it's just like, the missiles are firing, and you're laying sound charges or flares or whatever they're called, and for submarines, I'm sure they have something like that, and you're just trying to avoid. I got the idea when I was reading Hunt for Red October. I was like, oh, this would be interesting. I think I'm crashing out. I spent the last 5 hours doing laundry and changing all of my Forza cars to look like Lisa Frank notebook. Lisa Frank stickers for the win. My kids have a bunch of those right now. Actually, we got some from Bob. We got some those kinds of stickers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I thought they would like that, but okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get that area watered. But I guess it needs to be plugged into the sprinklers, maybe. But you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. Okay. But I also found out you can get credits if people use your designs. So I'm catering to an untapped audience, the Lisa Frank sticker collection. Very nice, very nice. All right, so we know the room. We literally have the room. This is it. So if we know that the room cell is an enemy, Forza's cool. Forza. A scoopity Forza. Okay, so the enemy's in the right spot. I don't see him in the scene tree. Forza. Oh. Forza. A scoopity. Scoopity Forza. Oh, we have to do it after we add it to the scene. You see, man, order of operations, huh? And it's gonna crash again. We need more fingerprints. Forza. Que cosa? My friends make fun of me because when I say Forza, not Greg. Greg don't give a shit. But some other friends that I play Forza with, they get all mad. They're like, "Don't, it's Forza," and I'm like, "It's Italian. You don't say pizza. It's pizza. It's Forza." Hmm.
But you've heard the like theater sing it, right?
Oh yeah. Forza. A koopa back, a dabookie back. 20 consecutive streams from Dustin. Let me do a shout out. Dustin, have you been able to stream recently? I'm gonna be on in a little bit second. If anybody else is playing the new Forza, let me know. We gotta friend up. Drive around Japan together. It's rainy. Yeah, we're overcast. Yeah, I was telling my daughter, I'm like, on Memorial Day, I'm only thinking about 3 wars. The Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and World War II. And all the other ones were trash wars. That's what I told her. Mariana, how you doing? Like it's like 86. This week was a pretty off week for me. I'm going to start again this week. This last week was a pretty off week, I'm going to say. I gotcha. Yeah. Don't feel any pressure, dude. Don't feel any pressure. Everyone streams for different reasons as well, you know. I kind of like I know that I could put on a show of a lot of stuff in a way that would like attract a larger general audience. But I'm not here to even though I get distracted and stuff and I start talking about cops for like an hour and a half or whatever. I'm not here to kind of fuck around, you know? Like I'm trying to get done something. But everyone's kind of different. So what I wish I would spend more time on is getting my like streaming windows and interfaces and stuff going and yeah, something like that. I would really like for you guys to have like a little Tamagotchi thing that you guys have to take care of for me. Otherwise it dies. Like a plant you have to, like a garden that you guys have to take care of for me. That'd be kind of cool. Somebody made a game like that, right? On Twitch. Anyways. That's a vertical, right? You make a game. And yes, exactly. You make a game that you can play, but then it also could be played by chat, right? And it can be plugged into an OBS window. That's a vertical. All right. Chat would break it on purpose. You guys thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. I think so. It I mean, not exactly sure, but I think so. Sense all item. All right, so now the little square should go away.
Oh, that's cool. Cool?
And the enemy should pop in.
Yeah, cool. You think it's cool?
There we go.
It's not cool.
All right, boys, we got an enemy in the world. What the hell just happened? Nicholas Petton. Thanks for the raid. Do you like Godot? Yes. No, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm proud of it. Let me see if I can check out your channel here. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. 2 hours ago, started the stream. Look at that beautiful. The banner art you have is fantastic. Godot is pretty awesome. Let me do a shout out for you. S-Funk, what's up? Whoops. I just sent a... No. Nobody follow that person. It's supposed to be T's. I don't know. I had my finger was off by one. Don't follow that other guy. Don't follow that other guy. That guy's a loser. Let me check out what you were working on today.
Pale white. I think that's gonna be good. And that's gonna be the
Building a retro 70s spaceship. Nice. Are you using the Lego model as reference? Ooh, you got the old ooh, very nice.
It doesn't make much difference. Yeah, a bit. Yeah,
oh,
okay.
This is cool.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I can.
Wow, look at that.
But it's subtle. I don't think anybody would really notice, to be honest. Okay, good. Button is good. Gonna run.
This is
Position
coming along
takes a lot
great.
more
This
time.
looks awesome.
The reason for that is...
So what style of game is this? Like, what if you were to label it with a genre?
we do
What's
it
the closest?
immediately.
Do you have a Steam page? It looks like you have a Steam page. Very nice. This is you see, this is somebody who's actually making a game. And I'm full of jealous rage. I'm gonna give you a follow.
Probably way too loud.
So you have a whole website. I'm gonna go on Bluesky.
Sound
Give you a
effect.
follow on Bluesky.
Which
Wait.
one is it?
What is Blue Sky Score? What is that?
Power
Profile.
cut.
What is all this? What is going on?
Oh no!
It's a narrative
Move
mystery game. No
stuff.
Steam page yet, but there's one for my previous game. Nice. Follow.
Damn it.
There we go.
Okay, let me try.
Very
and
nice,
fix
dude.
It.
Congratulations, this is fantastic work that I'm just
Manage
scrubbing
files.
and I'm just already jealous. That's really good.
Emergency stop. Player.play. And then you stop.
It's beautiful.
It's a capsule or just a box shape. Box shape is gonna be
Let
enough.
me show you what I've been working on here. So we're doing a Metroidvania game jam. This is day 7 for me. It doesn't look like much right now, but I promise you I've done a ton of work. Let me try the shout out again. Hopefully we're not timed out anymore. Yes. All right. There's the actual Nicholas that you want to follow. Not that other guy. This one. So I've been working on a bazillion things.
Is Democracy Manifest.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you. I've been working on a bazillion things, but right now we're doing the Metroidvania game jam. And it's 30-day jam, but I can only work on it about 3 days out of the week. Today's a special little version of it. We're doing like Minecraft style voxel blocks. And we've got some abilities worked out. Like we have this little shovel here that we can like come over here and like get rid of blocks with, and then we can throw the shovel. And the idea with the shovel is that we're going to get it stuck onto a surface, and then you'll be able to jump on the shovel and climb with it. And we have things like a lamp and like a torch thing that we can carry around and stuff. And then we've been working on the level editor. So the level editor's in-game. So the level editor, you can float around, and it's just like Minecraft, essentially. It's just the creative mode in Minecraft. You can lay blocks down, and you can erase blocks, and you can just like spam them. Eventually, I'd like to be able to like copy and paste and rotate stamps of blocks. So that would be good. We're just getting enemies in right now. We got this little slime guy that's going to be bouncing around looking at us and chasing us. And then the other thing that we got, so this saves in real time. So any change you make saves immediately, and each room is its own resource. We've blocked everything out into rooms because for map making in a Metroidvania, you kind of need like set areas and stuff like that. Each room itself, if I go back to the player controller, is a biome, and you can set the biome for the room. And so like right now we're in a cool, dark, underground biome. And then if we move over to this area and we cross this path here, we're going to transition into the like lava biome. Music fades out, the skybox changes colors, and the ambient lighting and everything changes well. This is really drastic because it's just as I just got it going and I just needed to know it was working. So we're just getting everything that we need ready to build the game, and then on once we reach day 15 and we only have 15 days left, we flip over to, okay, we've got our sandbox tool set that we've made. Now we make the actual game. Yeah. So we're trying to get enemies going, and we're trying to get at least 3 different abilities. Oh, we have like an Alice in Wonderland shrinking ability. So we can like, if I come in here, we can shrink real small and get really, really small as well. And then the world is super big. So this is like the morph ball, if you think of like Metroid. Then you can go back and grow back to your regular size. So anyways, that's what we've got so far. We're on day 7 right now. And yeah. But I appreciate, thanks for coming in and raiding and everything like that. You can make games with Godot? Lies. I'm old enough and ugly enough to remember X-Act and hand-rolling shaders in game consoles, or early Unity releases, and the horror that was handling audio automation in that. Now you can look at the source of the implementation. The world has gone mad. Fish solver, is that what it's called? Pish solver. What's that? Did I just say something really bad? Okay. So we just made it so that we can place blocks, these colored blocks, into the world, and they'll spawn enemies. Oh, that was the name, the name of the stuff. Oh, the stuff she drank. I like that the book was like, hey, don't drink strange bottles of things. It's just like, let the kid know. And even on the thing, it was like, she spoke out loud and she's like, probably shouldn't do this. Like, this is like a really bad idea. Here we go. Like, anyways. Okay, so now that we have the slime in the world, we can start to try and do the logic for it. So we can detect when we're in its viewable area. But what I'd like to do first is get it to just sort of bounce around on its merry way. We have this little simple animation here for jumping. And so we actually need to tween the jump up and down. And the way that we're going to do this, I think, is to actually make it if we use delta, so we're going to make it an actual character body. And if we use delta right, we should be able to be deterministic about a lot of this stuff and be able to have it do the jumps on exactly each, like each grid component. And so long as it only collides with blocks and doesn't get hit by other physics objects, everything should be cool. And even then, we should be able to get it back to where it needs to go if it gets off track. So, we've got the basic. I started working on the enemy code yesterday. So we have the roam area, which is really something we're probably not going to end up using. And then we have the vision area. This is the one we're going to use. Roam area really just represents the space of which it can navigate. And so we're going to use that to determine the blocks that we can move to. But for the vision area, we are doing something else. Target spotted. Body entered. I can type. But yeah, I dig Godot. I think you can be, I don't know, every engine has its pros and cons. Just using an engine has major pros and cons. So you take what you can, you just look at it from a point of leverage. And I will say, a lot of extremely successful indie games are mostly from scratch. I'm talking about, but those are dedicated year-long projects for a lot of years long. Like Balatro is mostly from scratch with Love 2D as the main glue. Vampire Survivors is even in console form is a port of a is a port of a JavaScript game. Okay. And it's still technically JavaScript, I believe, on Steam. I could be wrong. I think it still is. It's like, that's the crazy thing about the console ports for Vampire Survivors. If you ever look into that, it's wild. And then you have like what's the one with the little flower bean thing. You're born out of a flower, I forget. And it's got the really creepy music, and you get chased by dogs and frisbees and shoot. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's that one. Pikmin? No. It's like 35 megabytes as well. It's crazy small. Damn it. Trying to think of what it's called. I bought it on the Switch. Animal Well. Yeah, Animal Well. Animal Well's totally from scratch. Right. That game that did kind of well recently on here, where you do tower defense, was from scratch. Oh yeah, the one from Cakes. Tower, what's it called? Yeah. Tangy. Yeah. I think, to me, the gut instinct with indie games is just don't have the performance be crap. I really, really believe that one of the tricks is to have a game that can run on as many things as possible, as much hardware as possible. You can look at the Steam. Oh, the average Steam, blah blah blah, has this hardware. And it's like, okay, so that's exactly in the middle. So are you wanting the customer base right in the middle and the high end, which is a smaller base of people, right? The longer tail for higher end hardware is not big. The tail goes down like this, right? So what you want to do, like, I mean, this is it to me. Like, this is the best way I've ever been able to explain my theory. Finally, I have it in my head. Like, I can kind of explain it. Okay. So, and I'm talking about volume, right? So this is my point here, which is, so you have this you have this line here. This is low end. Yep. Thanks. And high end hardware, right? And let's say that the Steam average, right, is X, the specs for the average. But the number of things that are, the number of computers that are on the low end, it looks like this, right? You do not want your target audience to be something like this, or worse, something in between this range, right? What you want to do is you want to push this line as far back as you can, because that increases the volume of sales that you could possibly reach. And obviously it's like, oh, well, your game's not going to do that well. Why even bother? Well, then why are you making a game for money anyways, right? So to me, it's like you push this back as far as you fucking can. Sorry for cussing, but I really believe this. Push this line back as far as you can, because that volume gets bigger and bigger the further back you go. That's just my opinion. My head is in front of the graphic. Oh. Let me move myself around. And the Metroidvania month thing is in the way too, so I can scroll this down. But yeah, so you have like low end here, low end hardware, average, and then high end. And everyone's like, oh, I'll just aim for average, right? But I really think you want to push this line back so you have more of this pie. This is the big piece of the pie you want, right? But as you go forward to high end, you're only cutting down. Now, obviously, like there's AAA games that do crazy good, and people buy them, but a lot of people buy them and can't play them at the highest specs, right? So, yeah, and the other way to put it is the people who buy a badass machine has higher expectations on the titles they buy. Yeah, like they're going to be going for the, I want to show off my beefy. Like I got a Lambo and I want to race it on Nuremberg or something. Like so yeah. That's just a theory, a dev theory. That's a super small niche, but bad idea to point there. I agree. Right. I use only the lowest possible tier of support, the least possible graphics. I'm fully tested the worst computer I can find. Fully concur. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying that at every moment, but the other thing is like you just kind of need to be aware of like the choices that I'm making. I know are going to impact performance negatively on low spec hardware, because I know, right? Like the more that you know about it, the more you're making a choice rather than just kind of hoping that it's not a problem. Anywho. And then as you're doing your next thing, you're just kind of thinking about it. And you go, okay, I'm going to structure things this way because I've learned in the past it's bad to do things this way. And if I do it this way, I just sort of automatically get all these gains. And I mean, I think the equivalent is like, you sort of become better at hiking or something. And it's like you're doing this long hike up a mountain you've never gone up. There's no trail. And as you do that, you get better at identifying the path of least resistance to scale the mountain, right? To be realistic, the distribution of hardware doesn't look like that hill. It's more like a normal distribution bell tilting to the left side. Right. Yeah, so it's probably, you're right. So it probably looks like something more like that, right? Or like it'd be a stronger arc on the left side, but it'd still go up, right here. But again, these high spec guys, what are they expecting? So, but I mean, it's just kind of plainly obvious. The more people that can play your game, the more. And the other thing too is the more you move over to this side, the more you're ready for console. Because console is a whole different ballgame. And so just thinking about performance means that if you do hit something big, you're more ready to go and be like, okay, I want to get this thing on console. What do I need to do? But anyways. Bell like this. Right. It would be interesting to actually figure that out. But satisfying people on the high spectrum is tricky. Right. Yeah. But and I'm one of the ones that loves the high end stuff. Like I'm playing Forza right now, and it's like beautiful. And so I'm one of those dudes. Okay, let's check our masking on our area. So we want our vision area to mask with the player. Right now it's masking with world. We want to mask with player, or we identify, what is it? We're nothing, and we mask with player. Okay. And then let's confirm on our player controller that we are player. We have these collision shapes, and we are player. Okay. All right. And actually, we want the slime to mask to world so it doesn't fall through it. Okay, we're getting there. I always get puzzled by those guys obsessed with watching the FPS not going down to 124 or whatever their limit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mega low poly game. But it's not about polygons. Like computers can do polys like crazy now, right? And that's the funny thing is it's I think a lot of indie devs fall into this trap of they've got a good machine and they really don't ever consider the for them it's fine. It's running at 60, right? And then you get, I mean, this is the running trope of you play some indie game and on your machine it's choppy as hell, and it's just like the performance is like wildly, what you're seeing on the screen and what you're getting in performance don't match up at all. You're just like, this makes no sense. Why is this so bad? Which reminds me, I need to adjust the room. We want to adjust the what's it called? The octant size. We're going to go up to 16 on that. Okay. Performance is usually draw calls and CPU bottlenecks. Yeah. Yeah. My comparison, so the Unreal and Godot comparison, Godot has everything off out of the box. Nothing is flipped on, right? I do think that Godot should work on some good default world environment, like out of the box, hey, this looks pretty, you know? But I understand why they don't. It's a difference in philosophy. So Godot out of the box, everything's flipped off. Unreal out of the box, everything is flipped up to 11. It's like you want motion blur, it's on already. You know, like it's just like everything is like bam. Asset streaming. Yeah. And you still, I was just talking to Fiera about this. You still have to bake the shaders. You still have to do all this work if you really want the shaders not to compile for first run. Even with all the work that they've done, it's better. It's way better now because now once it gets hit, you come back to the game, it's done. But you still, like, in order to not have that happen, you still have to do the work. Like, that's what I found. I don't care what any of the docs say, damn it. Pre-baking in the export step. Oh, is it in the export step? Oh, is that why I'm not? So on the debug, you wouldn't see it on the debugs. Oh, wow. Good to know. It's an export option. Okay. That explains why I'm like, it doesn't do anything. Guys, it is hot in here. It's a hot day today. Hang on, I'm going to flip the thing around. There we go. Oh, yeah, it feels good. I have a vent, and you can fold it. It points one way. And then in the afternoon when I'm in the closet, I point the vent so it goes into the closet. So I literally pick up the thing and flip it around and point it my way. Before that, they added Uber shaders, which is what games started to do some years ago. So now it's literally just comped on export and you're ready to go. Wow, how is it handling all the hardware variations? That's crazy. That's really cool. It's saved to a file. So you end up with like probably a larger game size overall than if it was baked on load. But you have all possible shaders ready to go. That's cool. I guess just a compile down to all known architecture and or yeah. That's all the GPU stuff. I just don't understand any of that. Okay, so now we have I think we have the masking right for everything. Let's see. So we'll go up to the guy and target spotted. Okay, so that's what we want. So when we walk into the viewable area, we are seen. Good to know. And we probably need to know when we get out of the viewable area. I almost think we need two vision areas. One to be the spotted cone, where the cone of vision, like, it's like alert. The alert size is like larger than the not alert. But for now, they'll be the same. So body entered and exited. Target left. Okay. I don't know much of the graphics programming, but I believe SPIRV is a language that gets transpiled to GPU specific on load. I see. Okay. I think I understand those. I think I understand all of that, except for whatever the hell SPIRV is, except that it's a language that does that. But as far as what it is, I don't know. That's interesting. I do think that I'm pretty good about whenever I'm hitting processor spikes now in Godot, it is not my code that's doing it. It's literally the engine is hitting its max. And so then I have to understand more about what I'm doing that's causing the engine to hit processor, as in structure, graphics, that kind of thing. But it's never like the profiler is not showing my code as being the reason why this spike is happening, which is promising that I'm like, my habits are good, at least in that regard. So now it really is starting to become, you need to understand real game dev better, you know what I mean? Anyways. Okay, so we have target left and target entered. And I just spent a ton of time figuring out database batching. Writing a game is endless for knowledge gleaning. Yeah. That's what's fun about it. I feel like if you're somebody who loves to learn in life, game development just feels like this never-ending world of like constant knowledge acquisition and just like, and then you just get that joy. There's this special thing about programming, and maybe this is true of anybody who loves any specific thing, where you think about it when you're not doing it and you get inspired and you have ideas about it when you're like gardening or some shit, you know? Like maybe the gardener has that happen when he's like going to some kid's birthday party or something. He's like, you know what I could do? I could mulch this way. And if I had these kinds of worms and blah, 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 maybe they're just as excited. And maybe that joy is not held only to people who program. Oh man. Let me do some commits here. All right. Okay. Hey, sweetie. So, if I have Romaria masked with, all I'm going to get is a series of meshes. So, I think the idea of Romaria, I'm just using it as a visualization. I think what we actually have to do is get from our current position our okay, what cell would we be at? Right? And then from there go, okay, what cells are available around us? And then determine a position to try and hop to from that. If there's blocks above the, what I'm not going to do is spend time trying to make the enemy super intelligent. And I think this is like kind of a trope in games anyways, where you have like, you know, if it's bouncing and it sees me and it's got a block in front of it like this, and it's trying to bounce like right, you know, right here on I don't know. Give me something. We'll do the screen block. Okay. So it's trying to bounce from here to the green block. You know, it jumps up and it's going to hit its head on this block here, and it's not going to be able to complete the arch of the jump, but it'll get there a little bit closer. So that's the key to this, is doing the math right, so that, to me, this is the key. Doing the math right so that the bounce of the enemy lands its center on any cube that it's trying to get to. And we're doing it as a physics thing. We're not doing it as like a pre-calc thing. Although technically it would be pre-calc because we would know the math, right? And I think if we're using delta and all that stuff, we should be able to be deterministic about it. I believe we can be, because we would know the velocity and the direction of the velocity that we would need to apply in order to land at that exact point, right? And just so long as it's like getting there close enough, I think is fine. So that's what I'm going for. Really hop to that thing. And then if we can get that, then we can design scenarios where you intentionally try to get it to land on something. Maybe there's switches. Maybe they need to be on a thing here because you need to be on a thing here. And then that opens something, and now you can rush over there and do the thing, right? So you like stand here so that they try and jump right at this spot. And then you go, you run over here, or whatever. That kind of thing, right? You get the idea. Now we need to bake, because I put those blocks there, right? So we build the room, and now we have those blocks there, right? Okay. So how do we calculate the vector? Let's just try and we'll set it up to jump one block in front of it automatically again and again and again. How about that? How about we do that? Whoops, we got to save the room. So didn't like being on the outside like that. I gotta fix that. That's gonna be a problem. Okay. Bake it, build the room. Now this is interesting because if we're baking the enemy like this, I think on load we actually have to remove the block. I need to be able to see the block in the editor, right? The enemy spawn block. So we might have to be fancy about it. What we might have to do is store the list of the blocks. Like we might have to have a list of blocks basically that we store. I guess it would be more of a dictionary of, it could be there's a couple of different ways to do it, right? But essentially, if we had, let's say we have an individual array for every enemy type or whatever, but essentially it's just a list of these blocks have these enemy or here to spawn the enemy at that position or whatever. And then we can flip on and off when we're in the game and see those points when we need to see them. But so yeah, just jumping forward. We want to try and get our slime character to just hop forward. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a character body 3D. We're just gonna use Godot. Godot has some boilerplate code. I just need something to get going with. Basic movement we have right here. That's just to apply gravity. I just want to see this here. This is what we want. This is the juice. So we have a jump velocity and we have a speed. And I believe I can do this. I am making a positive declaration about my abilities that we can set a mostly deterministic point of where our guy will jump to. I believe I can do this. Jump velocity. Okay. This right here is the key to it. Because he's a funnier character than we have or have before. So if we can get him working. So the trick here is to... This will be how high we jump. But our velocity and direction... Right now, for instance, we're just applying bloop, right? Bloop sets our Y. That's where we're pushing the jump velocity. Okay, fine. So that velocity then goes whoop and then comes down, right? If we know time, if we know that the jump time for the thing is going to be some value, right? We know it's going to be 4.5 seconds. So then we know that during that time, we needed to move 1 meter in a direction. Okay, that's the problem we have to solve. That's it. And we need to know the direction and all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just going to try and go forward. So we're not going to use inputs, right? Because this is an enemy. So let's just do this. Let's have a jump state. Roam. Okay, we're going to have an enum state jump. Ballistic you had the bell curve, right? Ballistic trajectory, anyone? Is that what it is? I mean, it should be solvable, right? The rocket doesn't know where it's been. It doesn't, all it needs to know is whatever, right? Jump state. Jumping. None. Those are our jump states. All right, so our jump state is none. And this should be state jump. Sometimes you have to just try to do something. You know, you can just try and fix your car. You know? like you could go to a mechanic, and it really depends. Like if you bought a beater like I did, right? We always buy used so that we can just have liability insurance, and we just drive the car into the ground, and we never have a payment, right? And then if something happens to it, you're like, ah, I got 5 years out of the thing, you know, like it's fine. Initial velocity, but I cannot find the formula. Okay, well we're gonna try and brain our way through this. We'll figure it out. We'll give it a shot. I don't know why I have I have like weird clipping going on. Use buffering on the camera. I'm gonna turn that off. Is that helping? There we go. Okay, that did it. Time step and gravity. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So knowing the velocity is the key to it, right? The velocity, the distance that I want to head to, and time. I feel like if I have those things, like what is the and yeah, it's harder than that though, because jump velocity is not going to get. You're right, Mariano's totally right, because I am thinking about this wrong right now. Jump velocity is not how much time is going to take to go from up to down, right? So that's what's going to make this a little bit harder to figure out. But that's why I think if we have delta, if we're using delta, right, I think we can get there. I think we can get there. I don't know though. And like I said, if I can get it close enough because we're in a jam, that's fine. So now we kind of need to just auto jump. What I'm going to do is set a timer for I don't want it to just boing 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 boing. I want it to have a little bit of a personality. So put a timer on it. And this is a jump delay timer. Boing 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 boing. Okay. Jump delay time, so boing, boing. Let's do a half a second. Cricket loves a half a second. It's his fave. Okay, so jump delay timeout. Okay. And then we need to trigger, we have to set the jump time. Do we set wait time? Wait time's not like... And I guess we need none landed. Over. I don't know. Thanks, Mariano.
So you have these nebulous jump velocity and gravity variables that you use to control how you're... So you have these...
Okay, 140. I'll check your stuff out here too, Bob. I'm getting the logic of how the jumping stuff is going to work right now. But like, for instance, direction for us is as simple as this. If direction is a vector 3, our jump velocity right now, our jump direction is forward. Right. So that's our jump direction. And I guess we only want to trigger this. We only want to trigger this. I don't know. We'll keep going. We'll keep going.
Hey, Papa.
Hey, buddy.
And we beat the game by just breaking.
You guys beat the game?
Yeah, there was a little miniature area. Yeah, there was a miniature village of the entire. And we found the castle, so John destroyed it. We got the bell, and then we took it over to our home, and there was a bit of all the bells we had in there, and then we dropped it in, and then we beat the game. But now there's a new thing. Yeah.
Ooh.
There's another. You have to beat all the areas within 7 minutes.
Okay.
Before the bell rings.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on the transform times vector forward. Yes.
And also,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
when we were running, everyone in the area chased us, except the boy who's terrified of us. And also the messy neighbor, because the messy neighbor didn't even see us. Odie pecked at her bush, and then she had to go fix her bush. So then I was holding the bell, so I set it down, and then I pulled the door out of the big desk, and it toppled over, and we took it over to the other neighbor's side, who did chase us, and took the bell a few times, but we were able to get out of it. Yeah. So then we took it over to our home, but and our pit of bells. Yeah, and our pit of bells. And we decided to put all the other stuff that were at our home over to our pit, but we couldn't put them in there.
So my kids just beat Goose multiplayer co-op Goose game. Untitled Goose Game. They just beat it together.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. Well done. I guess I'll end the stream now, and we'll continue to hang out. So sorry for stopping this right when we're starting to cook on the code, but this was a special stream anyways. It was going to be shorter. That's just what was going to happen. And so I hate to leave you guys hanging, but that's where we're going to end it right now. And so we'll resume Friday. This is a hell of a cliffhanger. So Friday, well, there's 19 of you hanging out right now. I really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and raid Fiera because we have exactly the same number of viewers as he has. So yeah, thank you so much. We fixed some bugs, improved some performance, and all of that good stuff. Am I spelling Fiera right? I hope I am. Nope. Every time. I think I'm out. Or wait, did I have it right? I had it right. Okay. I have my HGV CPC exam in 2 days. See you on Friday. Bust some ass too, Bob. Study. Get your head on straight and everything for it. Relax. You got it. Oh, I gave a shout out to Fiera. We want to raid Fiera. Okay, we're gonna raid him. He is also busting ass. So, anyways, much love to everybody out there. See you guys Friday, and have a good one. Bye-bye. See you, Wexer. Wixer. Why did I say Wexer? Wexer. Anyways, Mariano, JD, 2Bob, S-Funk, Medusa, Dustin, obviously, Nicholas, if you're still here, Vex, everybody. Bye-bye.